Food box and pandemic panic have seemed to subside. So what does 2022 mean for milk prices? Farm Journal's Tyne Morgan joins us with more from this year's Milk Business Conference.
Here now with Tanner Imke of CoBank. Tanner, when you look at your milk price forecast, I mean, we have had excellent demand both domestically as well as exports when it comes to dairy. So as we head into 2022, where does your milk price stand?
Well, you've got the very strong demand side of this equation, but there's also the retraction, or the contraction rather, of the U.S. dairy herd, which is well advertised. And we're probably going to be in this contraction phase for a little bit with feed costs as they are, construction costs so high. And so you've got the basic economics here of supply and demand. When you have strong global demand and when you have supply contracting, not just around in the United States, but around the world, in New Zealand, in the EU, it's hard to come up with a very bearish outlook in this scenario. So, you've got a very strong scenario here if we're looking at 20 plus on your milk prices in 2022, at least with a 20 handle. Now, there's going to be some variance there, especially I would say we need to watch what happens between Class 3 and Class 4. You're going to definitely have some premium there on Class 4 milk because of what we're seeing in butter and powder production, and the drought we saw out west and the contraction of the herd, especially out west, that's really impacting those Class 4 products. And so 4 is going to be trading at a very strong premium, we think, to Class 3 for much of 2022.
So I know we're talking about a contraction of the national herd, but yet production hasn't really declined that much. Do you think that trend continues in the production per cow?
I would say that's not going to be a long-term trend. That's temporary because a lot of that was weather-driven when we saw productivity come down so much, especially with all the heat issues out west. So the number of cows has come down. I think since May it's down 107,000 cows. Definitely shrinking. That's going to be a huge driver on your shrinking milk supply. But on the productivity issue, I think that's a temporary thing, and we'll see. I think we'll probably continue to see productivity recover over time once we get some of the past some of the drought issues longer term. But I think as long as we're here in this zone where we have lower production year over year, that's absolutely going to be putting upward pressure on milk prices.
All right, Tanner, thank you so much. Let's take a quick break and then we'll have much more right here on Ag Day.
Ag Day is brought to you by Micro Essentials, a performance fertilizer that can help you reap sizable returns. Text YIELDS, YIELDS, to 31313 to download our white paper on maximizing profits.